We're all learning.
Because I'm recording already, so I have to.
Oh,
Good thing I didn't say anything nasty.
Okay, all right, come on.
She usually edits anyway. Didn't make any changes.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the Westport Board of Health September 30th, 2024 meeting, which I'm calling to order. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag of
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I forgot to say, under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, this meeting is being recorded. Okay, we'll begin with the written report from Matt. Any questions or comments? If not, we'll go to your verbal report.
okay. There are 2 blood drives remaining for 2024. October 28th at Whites of Westport from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and December 12th at St. John the Baptist Church. To date, there have been 190 donors, and those donations will help 570 patients. So good job, everyone. The Public Health Minister started administering the flu vaccine on September 16th. As of September 25th, we administered 9 flu vaccines, and we have 20 homebound visits scheduled.
Great, thank you.
The new middle high school as-built plan has been reviewed by myself and John Swartz, and we both agree that the as-built submitted is sufficient. Because the as-built plan was completed after the system was backfilled, it was not possible to get all the grades and elevations, and due to that fact, the following disclaimers are disclosed. Any and all certifications present on the as-built plans that were submitted and reviewed on September 19th, 2024 pertain only to the locations and elevations indicated and only to the extent to which confirmations were made possible. The Board of Health does not assert or guarantee the satisfactory operation of the subsurface disposal system.
Okay, that's fine, so.
Okay. The Hazard Mitigation Plan Committee, their first public meeting has been confirmed for Thursday, October 17th at 6 p.m. located at the Westport Free Public Library, located at 408 Old County Road. There's a flyer that was just created. I know it's out on the town's general webpage, but we'll put it up on the Board of Health webpage this week. And if people are interested about learning more about this, please, visit the web pages and take a look at the flyer. All right, Director approved plans.
Can we,
Oh.
before you go ahead
Yes.
with that, I'm just on animal control. I asked Nick to share how many rabies cases we've had this year. And he just indicated, he gave me the printout. So we've had 10 cases of positive rabies testing on animals. And just to alert the community that there's an increase. This is larger than I believe we've had recorded this in the last few years. So just to be on the alert and to be careful when approaching any animals that look like they're aggressive or they're having difficulty, just to call animal control.
I'll note, I saw on the news too that a person in New York passed away from rabies. So it.
Right, yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the issue of the triple E, the positive mosquitoes, and some cases of triple E as well. So for people to continue to protect themselves from dusk to dawn from being bit by mosquitoes. And also there's been some more reports of mosquitoes being positive for West Nile virus.
We still remain in the moderate zone.
Yeah.
But Tiverton went to the high. So, or Rhode Island went high, I should say. Rhode Island increase their, and they're right there with us. They fly over the border, those mosquitoes, you know. That's it.
They don't need a visa to come over.
Okay,
Okay,
All right.
we'll move on to director approved plans.
sure. So we have a 4-bedroom, new construction on a 58,806 square foot lot, 1219 A Main Road for a Dan Berwick and Catherine Flynn. This is it's been Concom reviewed, and there was no issues with this plan. We have a 3-bedroom repair utilizing a stone bed on a 20,156 square foot lot on 36 Meadow Road. It's been through Concom, and this one will require a deed restriction. And then we have a 6-bedroom, this is an upgrade, I believe it's going from 5 to 6 bedrooms, at 684 River Road on 3.91 acres for a Matt / Chandler Fritz. Been through Concom, and that plan is okay as well.
Okay.
All right, so I move that we endorse the director-approved plans for 1219 A Main Road, for 36 Meadow Road with the condition of a 3-bedroom deed restriction, and for 684 River Road.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous, 2-0 with 1 absence. Thank you. Okay. Next, we'll go on to the minutes.
I had no changes to the minutes.
Okay. I neither, so.
All right, so I move that we approve the minutes of September 9th, 2024.
What's on your agenda? Does it say September 9th or August
wait a minute.
19th?
Wait a
It
minute,
says August 19th.
hold on.
The printed agenda, but yeah.
It's on the other agenda.
Yep, it still says August 19th.
All
So
right,
it's
we'll have to,
August 19th?
we can bring these back to the next meeting
Okay.
to
Okay,
approve them,
so
because
it's
it
not
doesn't
the-
match the agenda.
Okay.
So we'll pass over the minutes. Probably just wasn't updated from the last meeting. Okay, moving on to other business. Our next regular meeting would fall on Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples' Day. So we need to reschedule that, and the proposal, I believe, is to just postpone it 1 week and go 3 weeks, because we haven't had really heavy duty agendas. Is that right?
Right.
So it would be the 21st?
Yeah. So, we don't know about Phil, but,
Well, our next meeting would be fall on the 28th, so did you want to postpone it a week or just
or skip it.
skip it to the 28th?
Oh, let's skip. Wait a minute. October 20th. Okay. Yeah, day before my trip, so, yep. Why don't we just, postpone, if we need to pull one up for some emergency, urgent reason, we can do so.
That's fine with me.
All right, so the next one would be October 28th.
Okay.
Do we need to do a motion for that? No, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, so I move that we postpone that we move our Columbus Day meeting, we just reconnect on the 28th, that we skip a week and,
Cancel.
Okay.
thank you. I'm trying to figure out a different way to say it. We cancel our meeting on the 14th and resume our meetings on the 28th.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you. 2-0, 1 absence. Board member updates.
So I guess the update I have is that I presented, Olive Wachurski and I appeared before the select board and presented a request for an advisory committee for the opioid settlement funds to be formed. We presented some data. We, pled our case for doing so and assisting the select board in making decisions that are based on the abatement agreement, which is really a legal kind of binding agreement with the state when we receive funds. So we receive $35,000 a year with a projection by 2038 of having over $1 million brought into the town to address the needs of the community in education, risk reduction, and direct programming that focuses on, addiction, and specifically with the opioid addiction issues. So anyway, they requested that we create a charter. Olive worked on the charter. I have been doing an outreach with people in the community and who would want to be involved in such a committee. So Laura Charette, who is the principal of the middle and high school, has agreed to represent the school department. And Valerie Bassett, who is a clinician who appeared as well at that select board meeting and spoke eloquently about the money being blood money. It's the reason why we're getting money is because people died from opioid overdoses. And this is the kind of the restitution that people who are complicit in that they're paying, so that we make sure that we're using these funds appropriately to address that particular concern and need. So she's agreed. And I've asked Craig Dutra, who is on the select board, if he would participate on the committee. He once ran United Way. Mm-hmm. So he has probably some really great ideas about grants and things that we can do within the community to continue to address those needs. So I believe he's agreed. He said it was up his alley. So, okay. And of course myself on the committee. So we're still looking for someone from safety. We're hoping that Glenn Nunes would want to participate in that. He's an EMT. And anyway, so that's where we're at. We also are going to need somebody in the community who has direct impact, and that would be somebody who's either in recovery or family members of someone who's lost somebody to opioid overdose. So we're working on that. So I'll be presenting that. I'm going to send that over to the select board tonight or tomorrow morning, okay. And hopefully they'll be able to review the charter in the next meeting.
Mm-hmm. You had in that when you did the opioid panel, you had some in community members who
I contacted the woman who spoke, and she hasn't responded to my emails.
Okay.
So I mean, there are some other people in the community that I can reach out to, okay. But I think that one of the things I can also do is post something and see if people will respond to that. Yeah. So. But I also know somebody who's been in recovery for probably 25 years, mm-hmm. who's run NA meetings, who lives in Westport, who may want to participate. Okay. So I have to reach out to him.
Well, it doesn't have to. You don't have to be on the committee, because I assume you'll be doing some public sort of outreach sessions or something. My goal is to run at least 2 focus groups. I would like to do one to the school department and in the school, and address it to parents and people that are in the within the school system, and then do another one for the general public. We could do more, but I'm thinking at least 2, because somebody might not be able to make one and could make the other. So, and then go from there with ideas. We're also going to use. I think
could look at what Fall River did, because it was posted in the Herald News. And I received the press release from Michael Rodrigues, our rep, our state senator, or the senator for our area, and he's on Ways and Means. And he sent me the press release before it was released to Herald News.
Oh.
So, but it was in Herald News on the Monday we appeared before the select board. So I presented that, and they're giving a certain amount of money to the school system. And then they're doing what's called an advocacy fund, which is for people who have been directly impacted. So if somebody in the community needs to go into treatment and doesn't have the money to say maybe live in a halfway house or something, that maybe Fall River will help them do that through the advocacy fund. Or if they need to pay for heat and they don't have the money for that, and they are in recovery, so they're not able to work. So there's a way you have to figure out who's going to be the person or the people in need. So I have this idea about the grandparents that are raising their grandkids, because the parents of the kids have addiction issues and can't, that perhaps the grandparents
Need support.
or respite,
Yeah.
you know, giving them some kind of respite so they can get some help,
Yeah.
so they can have respite. But
Yeah.
those are ideas. That's
Yeah.
what we're going to do, the focus groups, to get people to give us ideas, and
feedback, what they-
and then
what
there's
they
going to
need.
have to be people presenting if they want funds to do a specific program, write out what the program is, and the committee will then say this is a good program and present it to the select board. This is what we recommend. So,
Okay.
but it's up to the select board.
Right.
We don't hold the purse strings; they do.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your diligence on that. I appreciate that. I don't really particularly have any updates. So we have, are there abutters? No, for Elmwood?
Yeah.
Okay, then we could go.
And
We
he's
could move
not
it up if
coming,
you
right?
wanted to. I don't know if the people are coming. Greg is not gonna be able to make it, but I don't know if the people are coming or not. But I don't see why we couldn't move it up if you wanted to.
I know.
Okay,
I
well-
did want to bring something up.
Okay, yeah, let's cover everything else. Topics for the next regular meeting.
Okay.
Anything unanticipated. So Donna, you wanted?
Whether or not we were going to try to do COVID clinic,
For that, we need COVID vaccine.
because someone from the apothecary mentioned it to me. So I don't know if they're able to get it. We could do combined efforts or not, but
I could ask, but they've been really busy with it, so I don't know how much they're getting. We can get it, and I signed this up with a buying group, which is called MMCAP, and we've got significantly lower prices if we wanted to purchase it. But our revolving account is down because we bought, a good amount of flu vaccine. We're down to maybe 4,000 in that account. We could probably get 40, 50 doses of COVID vaccine if we wanted to go down that road. We would get reimbursed, and it is significant, and we would cover our costs and maybe then some. But we would exhaust our revolving account down to nothing, and then we'd have to wait till we get reimbursed to rebuy anything else. Because,
How many doses of flu vaccine did we get this year?
I think we got 100 of the 65 and older vaccine, and maybe 60 or 50 doses of the under. Because but the majority of what we do is the 65 and older.
Right, okay. Because I think we had to order more last year. I'm just trying to anticipate.
Well, we'll see. We're just getting going.
Yeah,
So
early in the season.
we'll see how it goes over the next month. And by then, we should start seeing some of the reimbursements come back. So if we need to buy more flu, we can. We could buy more flu now if we needed to. We have some money left to do that. But I'd rather just wait and see. I asked them to let me know when we get down to our last 20 doses.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about reordering if we want to do that.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll follow up, and we'll see if it makes sense to do COVID, or people can pretty much get it. You just go to the apothecary to get it. So
Yeah. It was one of the pharmacists at the apothecary that mentioned it to me.
Okay.
Todd mentioned it to me.
Okay. Anything else for the next regular meeting, which will be the 28th of October?
Do we have plans for health notes? I know that Phil was going to be
Phil was
working
working
on.
on the microplastics
Mhm.
or nanoplastics,
Mhm.
but I don't have any plans. Haven't thought
So
about
I can do the next one if the select board approves
yeah, okay.
the charter and for the committee, and then I can start posting some information. I could do something in the health notes about that, about what the settlement fund means. Refer them to the abatement agreement if anybody wants to look over the abatement agreement and what can be used. And then if people are interested to contact
Yeah, okay.
us or
Yeah, and
me.
If you have dates for a focus group, you could put that out there too.
Yeah, the only thing is that if the select board approves the committee, then I have to help form the committee and set the first meeting. So I have some people for the committee, but I don't have all the spots filled. So that's gonna be, the challenge is gonna be, I'm
Okay.
gonna try to contact a few more people. And I would want them to be from Westport. I don't want them to be from outside of
No,
Westport.
no, it should be Westport residents,
So
okay.
that's the other thing.
Did you get my emails I sent over from Jim about the agenda and when stuff needs to be in for the next meeting?
Yes, and that's why I'm gonna try to get it in tonight
Okay.
or tomorrow morning, because I think it was Tuesday that it needed to be in. So, yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I get it. So, any updates on the charter, Olive just sent to me, and I will just forward those to whoever I'm supposed to forward it to that you said.
Well, yeah, so Jim, because Paul is on vacation this week, so
Okay.
send it directly to.
Yeah,
to-
and hopefully they'll be able to review it the next meeting, and then we can go forward and
Right.
set our first meeting, and then I can write something
Okay.
for the next health notes.
Okay.
So that would be the October, November health notes.
Yeah, and a thought for another topic is, Matt, we have the bike recycling grant, and we have the air sensor grant. We could talk about new grants that we've received.
Yeah,
I can do that. Also, just for the next regular meeting, I have been sort of out of action for a little bit, but I will get back to the total nitrogen testing. I had gotten an inquiry for somebody looking for a new O&M operator, and I was calling around. I spoke with someone who will be willing to come into Westport for providing service, and he just sort of his own volition I was talking about our 2 times per year total nitrogen testing requirement, and we're developing a policy to figure out what to do after the first 2 years, and he had some good suggestions for me, so I'm going to get back to that, and hopefully I will have that for the October 28th meeting.
there was a question that was forwarded to me from Michael Burris. Somebody was looking to see if we were gonna be doing a hazardous waste day.
Right.
So that might be something, I know we still have money left in the article from the last hazardous waste day. Might be something we wanna think about, maybe asking for at this town meeting,
In May, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And maybe doing a fall collection.
Mhm. It was a topic I wanted to talk with the collaborative communities too, at the next meeting, so, we'll just, maybe we can talk about that the next time too, see if there's appetite for organizing that.
What if we didn't, well, I was just thinking if we did something within the collaborative.
Yeah, it's the
It's
problem.
difficult, yeah.
Because of the geographic, people won't travel that far.
I think the Tri-Town community, Mattapoisett, Marion, Rochester would have a good shot of having like some kind of, combined
Yeah.
hazmat day in some kind of central location. and people from that area would all go to it, but then you got Lakeville, Freetown, and Westport, who are kinda on the outskirts. But if somebody needed to get rid of something that bad, they would come, I guess, but,
Yeah. But
we can ask at the next meeting.
It was in my brain anyway, so we can talk about it, see what that group thinks, see whether we think there's any appetite for pursuing an article at town meeting in May. We probably need another 20, the prices probably have gone up significantly since the last time we did it.
Well, before we have to get the articles submitted or the warrant submitted, we can, I'll research, I'll call the company that came out the last time and call a couple other companies and see, what we're up against here for prices.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still all on that statewide contract, which is how we found them before.
Right.
And
And then see how far they're booking out. I'll get all the information we need,
yeah.
to put the warrant article.
Okay.
The other thing is, wells. I think,
All right.
Phil had asked me, maybe we should pop up a working meeting in the near future to, kind of revisit that.
Okay.
Greg?
Okay. Yeah, we could do that maybe the week that we would otherwise be meeting.
Columbus Day week?
Yeah.
So I won't
you'll-
be around that week, but maybe the week after.
Okay. So that's the October 21 week. Okay. Yeah, you have a conference or something, is that right? Okay. Okay. Let's see. I have the time as 4:29. That clock's a little slow. I think we can, seeing no interested abutters at this point, I think it's reasonable for us to call the variance hearing for 25 Elmwood Avenue, owned by Edward Govea. This is a 3-bedroom repair with an infiltrator, a quick 4 on an 8,750 square lot, normally represented by Greg Nicholas, but today voiced by Matt Armendo. Speaking for him.
Yes, Greg wasn't able to be here, and he asked me to read this for him. So the parcel is located at 25 Elmwood Avenue, and it contains 8,750 square foot lot, and it's a 3-bedroom home. The water is provided by an on-site drilled well, and currently wastewater is serviced by an on-site cesspool, which is in hydraulic failure. Currently, the cesspool is 49.2 inches from the existing well. What's being proposed is a quick 4 standard LP septic field consisting of 24 units, a 1,500 gallon septic tank, and a 1,000 gallon pump chamber will be installed as shown on the plan. The field will be 50.8 feet from the proposed well, with a 5-foot separation to the seasonal high groundwater, and that's because it was an 1.2 perk, that you need that extra foot of separation. All abutting wells are greater than 100 feet from the proposed SAS, and there are no property line or foundation setback requested. So they're requesting a waiver from the setback distance from the SAS to the well. The site is predominantly flat, but it should be noted that Bread and Cheese Brook exists to the southeast of the property. And Greg's supposition is that the surface and subsurface water that exists is in the soil between the ground and the bedrock flows in that direction. The well is not a shallow well, it is a drilled well, and thus is obtaining water from an aquifer rather than the water that exists in the soil overburden. The well has been tested and the results are on file with the Westport Board of Health. The water as tested meets all the requirements for safe potable water. They're requesting a waiver of maximum feasible compliance. The current assessed value of the property is $325,100. Attached to the request are 2 estimates from Reposa Construction. The estimate based on the same plan with denitrification system, singular system, is $34,500, which exceeds the 10% threshold for maximum feasible compliance. Considering the site constraints and the fact that the existing well is producing safe drinking water despite the proximity to the failed cesspool, it is Greg's request that the board consider that the board consider the cost of the denitrification system and approve the plan with the setback waiver and the maximum feasible compliance documentation. Greg is thanking the board for allowing him to be absent for the hearing, and as he explained to me, talking at the moment is not his strong point. So hopefully he'll be back in action in the next couple months.
Okay, I noticed the nitrate reading was 3.9, so that is below 5. So I think it's a reasonable request. On the maximum feasible compliance, anything else we would want to see for well protection, resource protection?
I know it's not that much, but if I see if they move the coop, which does not have a foundation, that they could get a little further away from the well. I mean, I know the water quality is okay, but because I'm looking at it, the existing well from the other property, and it's 104.6, and they have room between there and the property line.
But then they would be moving it closer to that well,
Closer to,
the well that's 104 feet away, if you move the coop.
yeah. But, I mean, it's only, if they moved it 4 feet, then they move the coop somewhere else. But I just thought of that. I just thought there was a little room because that coop is not foundationed, so.
I'm not sure of the requirements for zoning setback for a shed from property lines. So if you were to move the coop closer to the property lines, I'm not sure if that would run into some kind of trouble with those zoning laws.
I'm given the current conditions, and it's with where's the cesspool?
It's right like it where the,
Why am I not seeing it?
let's see, the
Cesspool.
cesspool is, it looks like a circle with a line through it.
Oh, okay, so the cesspool is even closer than what's being proposed right now.
Right.
Okay. Given the test results, I think I'm okay with the plan as proposed. With a 3-bedroom deed restriction.
And 3 years of water testing for the site well.
And it does not have Concom, or at least this
Yeah,
was.
it does have Concom.
Yeah.
We just can't see it because it's not in red, but it's over there.
Okay.
Return from Concom, it's over in the right-hand lower corner.
Right above sewage repair plan, the word on the lower right corner.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
All right, so I move that we approve of the plans for 25 Elmwood Ave, owned by Edward Gouveia, dated 7/2/24. Maximum feasible, with request for a maximum feasible compliance variance. 1, reduction in the offset edge to the well to 50.8 inches, or feet, from 100, and with the following conditions: hold harmless, 3-bedroom deed restriction, and 3 years of water testing.
I'll second that motion. A motion made and seconded to approve the project for 25 Elmwood Ave with those conditions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's, again, 2-0 with 1 absence. Okay, thank you. Do we have anything else? Short and sweet.
Okay, well, being there no further business, I move that we adjourn this meeting at 4:37 p.m.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you.